Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, dudes and dudettes? What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So, yes, an ex-Florida offensive tackle and Michael Tarquin has committed to transfer to USC. I believe he's a registered junior, so he might have another year or two left of availability to play, which is nice, but USC does need a little bit more help and senior-ish leadership on that tackle side because they have some young guys who played pretty well, but I think they're able to get a pretty good guy here as well. He didn't play and start 100% of the time in Florida, but he is still a very talented dude, was a 4-star player coming out of high school, so definitely a nice pickup here in my opinion for my USC Trojans. Then when it comes to Joey Bosa, yes, apparently he has been practicing a lot recently, and he definitely has a chance to play this weekend against, I already forget who they play against, but yeah, I think it's the Rams. But yes, he is already in the process after that groin surgery he had a couple months back that he is finally feeling healthy. Even in an interview, he did say that it feels a lot different than what happened 4 years ago when he was trying to come back from a foot injury that he had surgery on. He never felt right at the time, but even now he says he feels stronger than he even did before the injury, and he passed a lot of milestones that he wanted to in the injury process. So definitely looking positive for him and the Chargers' defensive outlook to add a all-pro like Joey Bosa as you're heading into the playoffs. It's pretty awesome. I mean, against the Rams, he probably shouldn't have to play as much. It's okay to get him out there for a few plays, and then you got like Denver and whoever coming up next as well. So probably get him in there and sparingly, and then make him go full go when it comes to the playoffs. So we'll see how that goes, but definitely looking forward to getting back our all-pro defensive end in Joey Bosa. And when it comes to Zion Williamson, yes, he had a brand new career high the other day with 43 points and a nice dunk over Rudy Gobert that I'm pretty sure you've seen if you follow my YouTube on some of my shorts. But yes, overall, it was a pretty awesome game by him. He even had a crazy stretch. I think he scored the last like 12 or 14 points or something like that. I forget if it went into overtime or not, but he definitely scored like the last run in the fourth quarter as well. They just kept going to him, and he kept going into the lane and getting layups and all this other jump shots and hitting open threes as he is lately. So, yes, it was very fun to see, and hopefully he can continue it. I'm pretty sure he's going to make the All-Star game this year because people just want to see him dunk with all those other great NBA All-Star players. So it'll be pretty fun to see. Then when it comes to the Anaheim Ducks, yes, the other day they played the Vegas Golden Knights, and they were able to win 3-2. I was thinking this was a pretty nice win for them. A lot of people are still kind of talking about it, and the Knights have been pretty good in the past couple years as well. They even won a title their first year when they did start. So I guess it's a nice victory for the Ducks. Hopefully they can continue it. You never know. And when it comes to Duke football, yes, they played the other day. I forget what the name of the bowl game was, but they were playing UCF, University of Central Florida. It's a pretty nice team, but they have been letting some guys transfer out, so it's not their full 100% team. But Duke was able to win that game 30-13. I believe that's their 9th win of the season, which is amazing to see the turnaround. I think it was like maybe 2, maybe 4 wins last year overall for Duke football. So it's really big time turnaround for the first time head coach, and Mike Elko definitely has some coach of the year considerations going on in all of college football if they are looking at that still. But yes, congrats to those guys. Definitely making Duke football look a lot more interesting than it has been the past couple of years. So I'm definitely been watching, and especially that kid, the quarterback, Riley Leonard, the young guy who did play pretty good. He didn't play great against UCF, but pretty sure going into his sophomore year, he's going to be even better. So definitely look out for him in a couple years in the NFL draft, in my opinion. Then I believe the number 1393 came up for LeBron James in his career in the NBA, because I think that's the most games played in a 20-year NBA season, something like that. You would think it'd be more if you played that much, but yeah, it's just still crazy how long he still has been playing, and only had a couple of big-time injuries that kept him out for a couple months. But other than that, it's been pretty injury-scathed throughout most of his career. So I guess that's why he's already in the top 10 of most games played. So we'll see if he gets up there in top 5 or whatever. But yes, we'll see, because the Lakers have not been playing. They've been playing well, but then they've been losing recently, which is why I haven't been talking about them, which sucks, but we'll see. And then Duke basketball recently put out a new NIL package or collective deal that fans could get involved in, where it's pretty much being kind of run by the players, but most of the money that the site makes will be going back to the players that are on the roster as of this year, which is pretty cool. But apparently you get access to their Slam Basketball. It's a pretty popular basketball magazine, but it's literally all Duke, like 300 pages worth. So I was hoping to find that in the stores, but I think that's why this was exclusively for this package deal. But you could also get that signed, maybe if you pay a little bit more, by all the players on the team, which is pretty cool. And you have access to like their website of new shirts and new merchandise coming out. Get a 10% off right away. If they have events for that package deal, you're going to be one of the first people in line to be able to get to it. So it's a pretty nice deal if you're living out there in North Carolina and able to do all that stuff. But even to get some of the stuff like the signed magazine and everything like that would be pretty awesome as well. But I'll look into it, but it does probably seem a little bit expensive. But at least these players are able to make money, so that's the most important thing for themselves. Pretty cool. And then when it comes to, yes, sorry, I lost my place. Tom DeLonge, apparently once again, he is saying that this is one of the best albums or best music he has ever done in his career. Kind of take that with a grain of salt, because every new CD that he puts out, whether it's Blink-182 or Angels and Airwaves the past couple decades, he always believes it's his best music ever. So it's been really good quality music as far as for an alternative punk rock band or whatever, but I wouldn't say it's like generational type of music and all that stuff. But yes, I still very much enjoy it. Definitely looking forward to this new record coming out pretty early in 2023. We're almost in 2023, which is pretty crazy, but yes, definitely looking forward to that. And we'll see if his, belief in this album is true. At least he said they did it together, because I know the last main record they did, Neighborhoods, in the early 2010s, they made the record, but they were all still separate in different studios. So it was kind of weird that they were still able to even make such a good enough cohesive record, in my opinion. But this hopefully is a lot better. So we'll have to wait and see, apparently. Then when it comes to a lot of Lakers mock trades coming up that I ended up doing, because I know there was a lot of talk about maybe Zach LaVine wanted to come to the Lakers finally. Even Trae Young, I mentioned in the last video, was like the Lakers were 5th or 6th best odds to land him betting wise. So I wanted to get these deals done to see if it was possible. So of course, when it comes to Trae Young, who is the more important player in these trades, apparently the Lakers could get Trae Young and Justin Holiday from the Atlanta Hawks, and then the Lakers send Russell Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn, the 2027 first round pick, and of course the 2029 first round pick. You obviously have to send those because Trae Young is obviously a guy who could garner first round picks because of how well he's played, at least stat wise, but he does miss games here and there because of injuries, because of his size. But I think if you pair him up with a guy like LeBron and AD, I think that could be good. Even though he is starting his 5-year max deal, which is going to be making him a bunch of money over the next 5 years, he's still very young, like mid-20s, something like that. So I think it's still, in the end, a good deal, even though I don't like him as much. During that draft, I kind of picked Luka over him, and I've been proven pretty much correct, because Luka is one of the best players in the NBA. But Lakers aren't going to be able to get Luka in a trade. So if you could get the next best guy, then why not? And speaking of Zach LaVine, yes, I was able to do a couple trades with him. One of the first ones was Zach LaVine and the ex-USC player Nikola Vucevic going to the Lakers, and then also Russell Westbrook and Damian Jones and the Lakers' 2023 second-round pick and their 2027 first-round pick going back to Chicago. So I think to be able to get LaVine, because he is upset being with Chicago right now. And of course, LA is his home team because he went to UCLA and grew up out here in LA. So Lakers probably shouldn't have to give up both first-round picks for a guy like LaVine, and they shouldn't. But I think throwing in a second-round pick some point in their future should help soften the deal. And they're taking up all the money that the Bulls are getting rid of, and the Bulls could either get rid of Westbrook now or after, and still either way they don't have to pay for these contracts anymore. So I think it's still a fair deal. Then when it comes to LaVine and another person, so I have Zach LaVine and Cam Reddish, another shooter from the New York Knicks, going to the Lakers. But then I have Westbrook and the 2027 first-round pick going to the Bulls. Pretty obvious. And then when it comes to the Knicks, I have them getting Derrick Jones Jr. from the Bulls and the Lakers 2023 second-round pick. They could either, I think Lakers even have the Bulls second-round pick, so whichever one is in a better position, they can give it up to the Knicks. And it should be fine, because Derrick Jones, I'm pretty sure the Bulls would not mind getting rid of him, and it made sense money-wise, but he's not that key of a player in the rotation either. They're saving money, getting rid of a disgruntled employee, as it would say, and obviously Cam Reddish has not been playing that much with the Knicks either, so it still works out, in my opinion. Then getting another shooter with Zach LaVine is Doug McDermott, coming from the San Antonio Spurs to the Lakers in this mock trade. And then Westbrook, the 2027 first-round pick to the Bulls once again. And then also Goran Dragic from the Bulls, Patrick Beverley from the Lakers, obviously. And then their the Lakers 2023 and 2025 second-round picks. I don't know if you're able to send multiple second-round picks back-to-back years. I know you can't do that with first-round picks. So in this, be able to make fair if that is the case. I did this with the Lakers. It still went through. And I think be able to get McDermott, who is one of the better three-point shooter percentage-wise out there in the NBA, you shouldn't have to give up much. Just a second-round pick, a couple second-round picks, and the Spurs get a couple of more veteran type of players who they can decide to keep, or they could also trade off and get something else in return to help their future, get a younger guy on a competing team out there, a playoff team, and steal him because you have the veteran Dragic or Beverly you can give up. So either way, in my opinion, this still works out. Then, of course, a more like role player type of trade where none of these guys are like the main like stars, like a LaVine or a Trae Young. But I think this could also work out with Lakers, and it ended up working out in fanspos.com trade kicker. So the Lakers would get Doug McDermott from the Spurs, Miles Turner and Buddy Hield from the Indiana Pacers, and Josh Richardson from the Spurs as well. But then the Lakers would send Patrick Beverley, Kendrick Nunn, the 2023 and 2025 second-round picks to the San Antonio Spurs. And then the Lakers would also send Russell Westbrook and the 2027 first-round pick to the Pacers. They could also send another second-round pick at some point, but I don't think you don't have to give up 2 first-round picks for those players, because either way, Indiana gets off on a bunch of money that they owe to those guys and might have to owe to Miles Turner, and the Lakers will decide if they want to keep Turner long-term, depending on how he does this year or not. So either way, I think a lot of this works out fairly for multiple teams, and obviously works pretty darn good for my LA Lakers. So hopefully Rob Pelinka or Jeannie Buss are, listening. I know Jeannie Buss is too busy getting engaged to the comedian Jay Moore, which is pretty crazy. You never would have thought those two pairing, but I guess I lost my shot of being a part owner of the Lakers. Sucks. And yeah, Pelinka, I don't know. He's just been behind the scenes and maybe working up a deal, maybe not. I don't know. And even LeBron James's comments the other day, it almost seemed like he wanted the Lakers to trade him to a better situation. So you never know what can happen in the next coming weeks or months going into 2023. So it should be very interesting. This might be my last video of 2022 because I believe Duke plays tomorrow, USC basketball plays tonight, and then USC football actually plays Monday against Tulane. So depending on when that game ends or whenever, I might have to wait until Tuesday to upload a full video to have enough stuff to talk about. So that's probably when you'll see me in the new year. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your year. And a happy new year. Be safe out there, like I said recently. And yes, bye down.